Now you guys get your chance. Who are some of the witnesses you call?
Oh, David, they had called witnesses. You know, basically it was just more of a rebuttal of the prosecution's witnesses because they had no answers for the questions that we were posing to them based on the prosecution presenting their own witnesses, right? So we only had to recall a couple people, and that was it. We like I don't know if you guys really knew the case, but the defense really didn't put on a defense. We just recalled a couple people, and that was it, and it was over. We gave it to the jury, and they came back with a not guilty verdict for both of us.
So 6 days later, right?
Yeah.
6
Yeah.
very long days.
Yeah.
The case is done.
Yeah.
6 days are going by. I mean, those must have been like the most excruciating 6 days.
It was, man. I even broke out in a rash on my neck. It was like, it wasn't that it was so excruciating because I knew I had a peace. And there was like, I knew that we were going to be okay. But at the same time, there was a possibility that this could go the other way.
Okay, the jury's done. They've made a decision. What are you going through?
David Kenner comes outside and Donald Ray, and they go outside and meet me in the bathroom. I said, look, man, we want to talk to you. And at this time, I'm thinking that I know I got to hear him say it, you know. So they had said, there's a possibility that you can be found guilty. So we just have to tell you to be ready for that. And if this happens, then, you know, everything's going to be taken care of. Your family will be okay. You know, the same story that you see on TV. I was hearing it, you know. And then they pulled Snoop over. They said, Snoop, we got to tell you something. There's a possibility that they might find you guilty. And if this does happen, just understand that everything's going to be taken care of. I love lawyers, but I hate them because of the secrecy of identity and the words that they use and the protection that they have in choosing the words, right? Because they're gifted with the things that they say, and the good ones and the bad ones, and they manipulate. And attorneys and prosecutors lie, right? And attorneys try to fix things for people. Well, this wasn't the case at all because we didn't lie. They didn't try to fix anything for us. We were trying to live, man. Trying to make it through a situation that was so detrimental and traumatic at 22 years old, 20 years old. Can you imagine that, you know? And if we didn't have the finances, obviously, to fight that, we wouldn't be here today. Because there's so many people that go through things like this, and they don't have the money to pay for attorneys. They don't have the money to pay for all this fancy stuff that happened to us, right? I mean, that happened for us, the resources to take care of it and to prove our innocence. That a lot of people, unfortunately, go down because they just can't, they can't help themselves. They can't defend themselves. So the reason why we made it through that was to tell the story, was to tell the truth, and to save lives. And that's all that I want to do. That's all that I've ever wanted to do, was to tell my story and the truth to come out. And just make people understand that violence is real. And there's no glorification, and there's no real gangsterism in something like that, man. Do you know that when the shooting happened, Snoop's album came out and it shot to the top of the charts the same week? Because you know why? To not you guys, respectfully, not you, but to the media, right? That validated him, that made him hard, that made him a gangster rapper to them, that he really went through a murder, that he really did this. And so you guys really believed and that murder was the case. You remember that song? Murder Was the Case was done way before the murder trial happened. It was just a song that was on the album. That song didn't come out after the case. That song was already done. It was on Snoop's album. It was Daz's song. Daz wrote and produced that song. Mm-hmm. People don't know the truth about it.
Wow. Okay. This is the day. David Kenner pulls you to the side.
We come out of the bathroom, we hold hands.
Come out of the bathroom.
We hold hands and we walking through. When we got in there, we let each other hands go. We said, look, I love you. I said, I love you too. We good. And we sat down. And it was quiet. As people are talking, it's quiet. And there's a peace. And there's a numbness. We were numb. I know I was. I didn't hear anything else. I heard a find the defendant. That's what I heard after that. Everything else, find the defendant, McKinley Lee, not guilty. Then I heard my mom scream in the courtroom, yes.
I seen the video with the look on your face.
Yeah.
Of just relief.
Yeah.
Just like, thank God,
man,
this is over.
Yeah.
Then they read Snoop's.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
And there's an iconic picture of us hugging.
Yes. How'd you feel at that moment?
I felt like, I felt sorry more for the family, man, than anything. I hated the fact that they had to hear all those things, about their son, their brother. I hated the fact that they had to hear really what he was. Because there's a lot of things that the media and the public, they didn't know, that we found out, that our attorneys found out during their investigation about him, that he was a gang member, right? That he had some things in his background that maybe his family didn't want to be mentioned or didn't want to really believe, right? I hated that because they had to find out and they had to go through this. I hate the fact that he couldn't be here to defend himself. I could have hoped that maybe he would have got shot in the leg or something like that. He could be here to fight it, but to take another life like that, no, I don't want that, because there was another person that died. And unfortunately, they died at my hands. And that's what I have to live with every day. Had he not reached, he would be alive. Had he not done that. Because I had no reason to pull my gun out. If I had a malicious intent, when I came down the stairs and Snoop was behind me and I thought, if I had reasonable thought that was a gun and that my life and my client's life were in, I could have shot then. If that's really what I thought. But I thought I saw something, but I wasn't sure. So why would I take that chance? My client's here, he's protected, it's fine. He's out of harm's way, there's no danger. We're not even being seen right now. So if I had a malicious intent, I could have fired at that time, because I was at the edge of the steps at the easeway. He didn't even see me at all. He's in the driveway arguing. I thought I saw a gun. I wasn't sure. My client's life wasn't in danger. He was in harm's way. There was no reason for me to do it. So I had to do what? Get out of the situation. Defeat, get out of the situation. Abort, get out of the situation. Get him out of it. And that's what I did. So there was no malicious intent. However, when he reached, then that became something different. That became something different. Because my job was to protect him, period. Point blank. And I don't have a problem with that. I have a problem with the outcome, however. But,
right.
And to this day, I love him. I love Snoop. And I always will. That's my heart. That's the heart of me. I love like that. And that's you know.
Yeah, I think after you go through something like that,
Yeah. Yeah.